without any further ado, let's see if we can welcome in our next guest. She is the head coach of Eastern Michigan's women's D2 hockey team, currently ranked number 1 in the Central Region, Taylor Costella. Taylor, thanks for taking time out to be with us. How are you tonight?
No problem. And good. How are you?
I'm great. Wow. I know your season's not over, but I want to congratulate you. Great start so far on the regular season.
Yeah, thank you. It's been fun. It's been definitely a ride, and I don't think a lot of people expect it. So it's been pretty fun so far.
So, take us through. This is your first year, right? If I'm not mistaken, I said it right. First year as a program, correct, in
Right.
the ACHA.
Yes.
So, give us a quick timeline on, you know, when they decided to have the team, and you know, how long it took you to get the team together. Recruiting the players, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, we started pretty much a year ago from February, and we pretty much went straight into recruiting. And it was myself and my wife, associate head coach Leah, and we pretty much just decided, there was another, reason for us to want to build a team here in Michigan, and it was to give girls an opportunity to play and go to school, at a school and a
Yeah.
hockey team that they want to go to. I was unfortunate and fortunate in ways of having options, but none felt like the right fit for me. So, I wanted to be able to give those opportunities to the girls. So, like I said, we started in February of like last year and pretty much started right away recruiting. And from there, it just kind of took off. We put ourselves out there and we really kind of just were vulnerable, to be honest with you, of like, we're going to do this and we're going to go all in or nothing at all. So we just kind of went all in, and we had a lot of recruiting from, online, a lot of Instagram, a lot of Live Barn and NCSA, recruiting profiles and things like that.
Wow.
And we just started reaching out to some girls that we were watching film from, and from there it kind of just took off and skyrocketed, to be honest with you.
Have you had any time to rest since February?
No, not really, but it's been really exciting. We also coach a tier team here, Big B AAA 19U. So it was kind of one of those things where we're also already at tournaments and showcases. So the recruiting became a little bit easier when we were in season for Big B. But pretty much we just, like I said, we just kind of dove headfirst into it and kind of just went all in.
So you decided February to do it, and you got the team set.
Mhm.
How difficult was it scheduling other teams to play you?
Yeah, I mean, it was honestly, it wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be. So, February of last year, technically, and coming up to, that 1 year mark of last February, we were already recruited a decent chunk of kids and we were ready to kind of roll into what we wanted to be going into. So we just started reaching out to some local teams, just saying, we're not sure exactly like what our team's going to look like numbers wise, but we have
Yeah.
enough to play and we want to, reach out and we want to start scheduling games. And we'll keep you updated, obviously, if we can get to the point where we feel like we're, more competitive and stuff. And I think it was something that we had only 4 or 5 girls committed at the time. We were already reaching out. And so we had the bare minimum, I think 6 actually, because that's the bare minimum you need to play. And we were like, we're going to just start scheduling games the best we can. Pretty much from there, that was when we started having more and more recruits. And then, we were reaching out to, like I said, mostly local teams within 2 hours from us.
Yeah.
Most of them were really easy to get a hold of, and I know a lot of them are busy, so they did have some conflicts that some teams couldn't play us, but pretty much every team that had the availability was willing to play us, which was awesome.
Well, that's great. That's what I love about the hockey community, Taylor. It's just like they come together to help each other,
Yeah.
and so that had to make you feel pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. They're very supportive. We have a lot of people that we chat with throughout the season and a lot of pointers and tips and helpful, faces along the way. And it's been really great so far.
So I am impressed with another thing. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you've got 10 girls on your team, right?
Yes.
I mean, they have got to be just in shape. Uh, their cardio has got to be amazing.
We try. I think, we always want them to be better, obviously, but I think
Yeah.
they do have really good cardio. Their stamina is really good. I think, it's something that we do a lot of conditioning and practices. They do workouts Monday through Thursday, and they're working out an extra 10 minutes at the end of just conditioning alone. So, we try to skate every practice. And by the end of it, I mean, at the end of every week, you're probably getting a good 60, 70 minutes of conditioning a week. So
Wow.
they're skating a lot. We had 7 skaters for 9 out of our 10 first semester games.
Mhm.
And the 18 age rule was, an issue for one of our girls. So she couldn't play until our last game of the semester. So yeah, we had only 7 skaters and we were still doing, really well. And it was impressive to see them just kind of go out there and, the first game, obviously a little nervous. They were a little kind of like, oh man, can we hang with them because of our legs, or we're just gonna be
Yeah.
tired. And we played CMU and they had a full roster and we only had, like I said, 7 skaters and 2 goalies. So, we as coaches had the full confidence in them to be able to do what they needed to do. But it is one of those things of like, you look down the other side and you're like, yeah, they have 20 girls and we only have 10, their legs are going to start to get tired. And, even if their skill is awesome, it's something that's really tough if you start getting tired and, you start having, mental mistakes and physical
Right.
mistakes. So,
So, how about you? Were your first regular season game? How nervous were you?
I mean, honestly, it was almost like it wasn't really like a nervousness that I would have obviously from like playing. It was more of just that kind of excitement and just ready to kind of see what they can do. And we were practicing for a little while before that, so I was pretty confident in their skill. We always tell the girls, they're all chosen for a reason. We hand selected every single one of them for a reason. And so skill wise, we're always confident in anything and everything that they can do. And it wasn't really nerves, it was more so of just that excitement to let them go out there and just do their thing, because I know that they can do whatever they set their mind to.
Well, obviously they're off to a great start. You guys are 11-0-1. It to me it always starts at the back end, and you've got Alexis Humphreys and
Mhm.
Reese Doty just putting up phenomenal numbers. I mean, the
Yeah.
goals against and save percentage are obviously lights out.
Yeah, no, they're 2 fantastic goaltenders. I couldn't ask for anyone better. That was actually something Leah and I were talking about the other day of like, we couldn't imagine this season with any other goalies just because they are phenomenal. And it's something where I can blindly trust either one of them. I don't have to second guess, who I'm going to get in that net. I can, just fully rotate them through and feel comfortable doing so.
So what has been the biggest surprise on the good side for you guys, for your gals in that first semester that you maybe weren't expecting?
Yeah, well, that's a good one. I mean, honestly, I think just them bonding as well as they did so quickly, I think that was surprising for us as a coaching staff because, I mean, they're all freshmen. None of them know each other at all.
Wow.
It's not like any of them played together or lived that close to each other that they really knew each other. So we did, some team bonding the first week of classes, and we got on campus with them, and all of a sudden they're like just completely glued to each other's hips and just super like just perfect family like atmosphere, which we preach that for our culture. And it was something that was very surprising that it was so quick and easy for them to just kind of jump into that philosophy that we put forward of family first. And it was amazing to see, and they've kind of really embodied that whole, like I said, family first philosophy that we thrive for our culture. And I think it's something that it's really helped them through those moments of, yeah, my legs are completely gone and I can't give anymore, but I'm going to look down that bench at maybe that one or two other girl and I'm going to be like, I'm going to do it for them. And so they really dive into that, and it's great to see.
So wait a minute. You're telling me that this whole team is made up of freshmen.
Yes, yeah, they're
And
all freshmen.
so not only is this their first year playing, collegiate hockey,
Hmm.
but it's their first year at a college, and that type of off the ice adjustment, and they're doing this
Hmm.
well, and that to me, I'm shocked. I'm just I'm at a loss on that. That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely shocking to, I think,
I love it.
yeah, people like hear the 10 and then they go, "Wait, but that's only 8 skaters, 2 goalies." And then they go, "Wait, and you're all freshmen." And it's you can just see their wheels are spinning in their head when we talk to them about it, like, how is that even possible that they're doing as well as they are? And that was something that like I said in the beginning of like, I know there was a lot of doubt from people watching us of like, you're not gonna be able to do much with 10 girls, like, and all freshmen. What are you going to do with that? Like, that's going to be really tough for you guys. And we've always told the girls, like, everybody's going to expect us to lose. So let's come out and prove them otherwise. So,
So they're normal, they're human, just like you and I. I'm sure they're looking at the rankings. They see you're ranked number one.
Yes.
How are it's how hard is it to keep them focused, even though they see that that they're number one?
I mean, sometimes practices can get a little, unfocused. We actually had a few the other day that were going, "Oh my goodness, we got to kind of rein them in." So, we have those moments for sure. Like you said, we're human. Even as coaches, we have those moments of like we're out here, we're having fun, but at the end of the day, like yes, we need to, rein it in, make sure we're focused on the next, game, the next set, and make sure that we're truly putting everything we have into every practice, so that way when the games come on the weekend, we're ready.
So you've got Michigan State for home and home this
Hmm.
weekend, and they're fighting for their playoff lives.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden the novelty of it's wearing off. Your gals are going to be the hunted now since you're
Yeah.
ranked so high.
Yeah, we've talked about that in before of like everybody's gonna want to give us our first loss. So we're gonna have to fight tooth and nail for those wins, even more than we thought we would have to. So, as the season goes on, it's gonna get tougher and tougher because everybody's gonna want to give us our first loss, which, we're gonna do our best to make sure that we don't let that happen.
Now, can you believe you've only got 7 games left in the regular
I know.
season?
Yeah, that's actually something we were talking about as well the other day of we're over halfway through with the season and we're so close to the home stretch that it's almost unreal, but it's very exciting to know that we're getting so close to nationals and that we have a good shot at it.
And now for the Central region, they take 4 teams, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's kind of weird how some of the divisions or regions take 3 and another takes 5.
Yeah.
So, now are you going to stay independent after this year, or are you going to or is there any plans for Eastern Michigan to go into a conference?
So that is something that we have discussed. I think, there's a lot of things that kind of go into that decision. I think next year it might be good, to stay independent one
Yeah.
more year just to kind of give us a little more freedom, flexibility to play who we want. Also budget wise and travel wise, we can kind of stay close to home
Yeah.
still. But yeah, and in the end, I think, eventually down the road we do want to, join a conference, and we've talked with, the director of the CCWHA and stuff like that of it is an end goal at some point. We're just not sure when that will be.
And you just brought up another point too that a lot of folks don't realize with the players in the ACHA. You got to plan your own budget on your own. You don't get the help that from the university that some of the other teams get, and so that's again another aspect of your team, along with all the other ones, that goes unnoticed, and how well disciplined your girls are and your coaching staff is. Not only are you doing well on the ice, but you're doing good off the ice. Just
Mhm.
with that aspect, along with the grades that the kids have to keep
Right.
up.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot to do and to handle, but it's something like I said, we had really great people helping us out, giving us pointers and tips along the way before we even got to, the beginning of the season, just kind of sharing what they, do and how they do things and run things. And obviously every school has a different way of doing it. And so it's definitely been something that we've had to learn as we've gone, but it's at this point kind of down pat and just kind of riding into the next season, getting budget ready for then and just kind of keep it going.
So, you played hockey growing up, right?
Yes.
Okay. Where did you play, and then what got you interested in getting into coaching?
Yeah, so I played pretty much my whole career tier 2 here in Michigan, and
Okay.
I played my last year on the 19U Westland Mustangs team, and it was a very similar experience of that family first, and those girls I still speak to this day, and a lot of them have came to my wedding, and coach even I've stayed in contact with them and all that. So it's something that I was always, I always wanted to play and keep playing and things like that. But I think kind of as I got older, my sister started playing more competitively, and um, they asked us to come out to practices to just help with the younger girls and things. And so she's 6 years younger than me, so it was something that to me it was a lot of fun to go out there and just jump out and talk to the girls and just be kind of that big sister and mentor to a bunch of them. And kind of from there, it just kind of took off. And years later, I was doing learn to play and adult practices out of the local rink where I live, and somebody kind of came up to me and was like, can you help run one of these teams? And at the time I was not in any position to want to run a team, and I was still in college. I was still working 2 jobs and playing hockey and all those things. And, I ended up getting thrown into the mix because they didn't have anybody that could even, skate as a parent. And so I did do it and I loved it. And then from there, I went straight to Bigby and I've been doing it ever since.
So I'm assuming that you're a Red Wings fan.
Yes.
Who's your favorite Red Wing?
Oh, I mean, I am more of a Maple Leafs fan if I have to be honest.
Oh, this is a Maple Leaf show. My last coach is a Toronto native, and he's a Maple Leaf fan. All right, who's your favorite Maple Leaf then?
I'd have to say Austin Matthews.
Okay, the guy's a stud. He
Yeah,
can
for sure.
sure play the game.
Yeah. Yep. No, I love watching him play. It's something that ever since he came into the league, watching him play has been really fun and exciting. And I think it's just something that, anybody can watch him and say, yeah, he's a good hockey player for sure.
So, okay, getting back to your team.
Mhm.
Now, we've got, like I said, 7 games left. Michigan
Yeah.
State with a home and home this weekend. If there's something, I always ask every coach this, if there's something that you think your gals may need to work on a little bit just to, keep the push going, the positive vibes, if you will, what would that be?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like it's always the small things. It's always just those little, like, that burst of energy, making sure that you're giving it your all at all times. Because with us being so low in numbers, the dedication is so important.
Yeah.
And being at practice every day is important. And making sure that they're showing up not only physically, but mentally is honestly some of the most important things for our team right now. And just, like you said, locking in when it's important. Yes, we can have fun. Yes, we can be silly and have those moments. But when it comes time to be in that game mode, we need to make sure that we're doing so. And I think the girls do really well at that. Of when they show up to the rink, they might be laughing and having fun in between the periods, but when it comes to being on the ice, they are totally locked in. And it's actually something my sister says all the time when she takes photos for us. And she says, when she takes photos of the girls, they're just so locked in that they almost look a little scary to take photos of even. And I said, well, that's good. I want them to look scary because that means they're focused. So it is definitely focus. And I think, like you said, not letting that ranking go to their head of like, well, yeah, you're ranked number 1 now, but all it takes is one person to come after you, and that's it. So we have to make sure we stay on top of it.
Do you get the temptation to get out on the ice and practice and scrimmage with the girls?
Oh, always, always. Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where sometimes I jump into drills to help because we are low on numbers, so I'm
Yeah.
jumping in and filling in. But I try to stay out of it the best I can because I want to get them more conditioning than myself.
Fair enough. Well, Taylor, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for taking time out tonight to be with us. I really enjoyed it. Keep up the great work. Good luck the rest of the year. Hope to see you down in St. Louis, gosh, in 2 months. And again, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, and hope to see you there.
All right. Taylor Costella, the head coach of Eastern Michigan's women's D2 program.